Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It is February 8, 2019, 12:37 a.m. Birmingham. And topic, wow, this is something I probably shouldn't be doing because I'm talking about other people, but I'm going to anyway to make a point at the end of this blog, and it will come together. At least I believe it will. Bear with me. I'm talking bad about some preachers here. I just watched a blog, and this wasn't the first time. I've seen it before, and makes me cringe when I do. But Creflo Dollar dancing on the stage. You know, there's like a three-tier, three steps, and then you have the stage there, and people come up and just throwing dollar bills and whatever they have on the steps. He's dancing across the steps. I mean, like Fred Astaire dance and just yapping it up. Look at all this money I got. I can pay my bills. Why don't the man help some of those people that gave their last dollar pay their bills? I'm telling you, if you go and look at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. That made me cringe when I watched it because I know, well, I don't know. I just know what I've heard about these people, and this is one of them. Here is another one, Kenneth Copeland. Let me tell you what I did. A long time ago, I worked at a service station growing up, and I went from there. I was a machinist, and then went straight into the police department. And after years in the department, my wife owned a beauty shop in the town that I was a policeman in. And I bought a service station 3 doors from where she was. And I bought it so now she can watch me through the Winn-Dixie window across the street. But I ran the place for a number of years. And while I was working for that, or working for myself, I was giving money to different people. The Pat Robertson, I don't remember what the PTL, and I was giving it to Kenneth Copeland. I was giving it to different people. I'm doing a tithe and I'm doing gifts. Well, one day Kenneth Copeland came on, and I was driving in my car downtown to pick up some parts because we're working on cars. And he said, "You know what? You can give something. You know, just go to work and don't be a deadbeat. Just go to the bottom and start at the very bottom and go work at a service station." And boy, did that hit me, knock the breath out of me right here. He said, go and work, start at the bottom, and go to work at a service station. I didn't have too much for him after that. I quit tithing with him, but he continued to brag because the last time he talked about bragging, he bought his 3rd aircraft, his 3rd jet plane, paid $64 million cash for it. Did a flyby for his congregation. He's got a hangar full of nostalgia airplanes, $1 million airplanes, but he's still out there telling people to go to the bottom, start at a service station, and give them money. Well, I quit. And then you got Benny Hinn and, well, actually Kenneth Copeland jabbering with each other. You should see it. Look it up. Find it. And they are so insane crazy, they don't know what they're talking about. All they're talking about is the amount of money that they're raking in from all these people who are giving it, thinking that if they give 10, they're going to get 100. If they give 100, they're going to get 1,000. God doesn't say that, guys. He does not say that. I'll skip. We're done with them right now. Let's go to Joel Osteen. You know, the feel-good preacher. You know, he lost it all when he locked his church when the hurricane hit and forbid anyone to go inside. Said, we're already having problems. You can't go in. But that's too late. Those people needed high and dry ground, and he would not give his church what he's God's building, not his. And God opens up for him, but he closed the doors. Well, that ruined him, and he no longer is at that church. I guess you know that. And so Joel Osteen had a fall. I never saw him have an altar call that lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes. And if he doesn't have an altar call, then I'm not going to that church. And then you have Mike Murdoch. This is the guy that Trey Smith talks about. The man I robbed. I stole his safe and ran down the street and got all the money out of it. I don't know what he had in it. But Trey Smith, he's Trey Smith, YouTube. Look him up. He's repented for all this. He's paid back all that he has done wrong, and now he's working for the Lord. And but here I'm coming to Jimmy Swaggart. And first, let me get to Mike Murdoch. Mike Murdoch, I heard this man sit on stage and he talking to another man. And I've already told you that other man's name. I'll tell you once again, his name was Benny Hinn. Talking to him, he said, you know what? Even God doesn't mind if you test the waters every now and then and fool around. He said, I'm not married. He said, so it's okay for me to test the waters a little bit. And I got plenty of women coming into my church. Boom, he's gone. He said that. I promise you, he said that. Jimmy Swaggart got caught once, got caught a second time, and got caught a third time with a prostitution. I think that set him straight. He repented, and I believe the man is good as gold. I do. Any man that repents and goes back to God, I forgive him as well. I don't have a grudge against him. But let me tell you why I'm going here. It makes a lot of sense, but it has nothing to do with a preacher. It has everything to do with a rich man. A rich man walked up to Jesus and said, Jesus. And this is when his disciples knew who he was. Although when they got to the cross, they turned their heads. I don't know him. But Jesus said they would. He said, you know, the cock will crow 3 times and then you'll deny me. And he did. John, I'm sorry. But anyway, let's get to what I'm talking about. A rich man came up, not the rich man and Lazarus, but a rich man, and said, Jesus, I want to be saved. What must I do? And Jesus said, sell all that you have and give it to the poor and follow me. Sell what I have and give it away? Well, let me tell you, I believe the man is not with Jesus today. He didn't sell what he had. Now, to my point, right here, we have a man that is our president. He put all he had on the shelf. And that means it can go away, or it can hold its own, or part of it will go away, or it'll grow. But he put it on the shelf because he is more concerned about doing his job that God brought him up for this time to do. God brings a lot of people up to do his work. A lot of people turn God down. A lot of people will start and then turn God down, just as these names I mentioned here. But I don't think any of them started with $9, $10, $11 billion. Donald Trump laid every bit of that right up on the shelf. Will it be there when he gets out? And he will be president for 6 more years. He'll be in 2 terms. Unless we really go crazy and haywire and God will have to pull the plug on us at that time, because this country, I promise you, if we're here a full 8 years, one day after, this country is going to crash and burn. And look for that. Just look for it. That's going to happen. But we think, gosh, we will perhaps be gone at that time. I will. I don't know about y'all. But, and I say that because of my age. But let me say this. God also rewards people for doing things that he asks them to do. He may reward sevenfold, he may reward them tenfold, and he may reward them 100-fold. All three are mentioned in the Bible. This is my opinion. Trump laid all he had on the shelf. I know he has his sons and they run the place. But guys, nobody can do it like the owner can do it. I promise you that. Experience tells me that. So I believe that God is going to reward Donald Trump sevenfold. If he's got $9 billion, when he gets out, he's going to have $63 billion. Or tenfold. When he gets out, he will have $90 billion. This is my belief. And Trump, he is not backing up. And I believe he's doing this because God empowered him to do what he needed to do. And God is not like, here's what you do, I'm going to sit back and watch. No, God's with him every day. And Trump is going to reap a huge reward for what he's doing. And here's what I'm asking of you now. You all heard and know 2 Chronicles 7:14. That prayer chain is still underway at 8 p.m. every night. Everywhere it's 8 p.m. That means prayer is ongoing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, nonstop for President Trump. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If you join in on that, you just make Trump stronger. You give him more power to go in and to stand stern on what he's doing for you and me. If you want to see the answer to that prayer, go to 2 Chronicles 14:7. Pray 7:14, but go and look at 14:7, and you won't believe what it says. It will tell you exactly what Trump is doing at this very moment. And it's good. Jody Wolf Expoz.